I wish that people knew that mindfulness could reduce anxiety 100 times in a very short couple minute time frame.
The Mindfulness Walk, which was a collaborative that the Board of Mental Health and Addiction did with the local Stark County Park System, combining nature and mental health and well-being, which I think is really important as we move forward.
So unfortunately in Stark County, we experienced a rash of suicides, particularly here in Perry Township. And in working with Stark MAR, we want to make sure we were providing every resource we can. We were really grateful to be able to come up with this mindfulness walk. Again, it's been very popular, and we hope that it's provided that support for the folks in Perry and all of Stark County who need it.
The walk is a mile long with 10 stations. Each station gives you an opportunity to practice a different kind of mindfulness.
This is more of a workout for your mind. It's an area where you're going to be able to go and decompress, and again, we want it to be very peaceful, kind of secluded, and a different experience than if you're on one of our more active trails.
So I'd say my favorite station would be Station 4, Always Away. It asks you to think about something that's troubling you and let it go, if even for a moment. I've lost clients over the years that have died by suicide, and it brings some of that back, but it also gives me a lot of hope that there's support for everyone, for the providers like myself who treat clients and see it on that end, for the families, because I think it also gives you that perspective of what they go through.
When we do suicide awareness events or we have our suicide prevention walk, oftentimes it's out here. And so we'll do an event in the pavilion, have a program. And then the beautiful part is that people are able to kind of then walk at their own leisure through the walk if they choose. But oftentimes that's restorative and almost healing for families.
Oftentimes referred to as the S word, suicide. People, I think, are afraid to talk about it. I've heard all kinds of different things over the years. But I think part of the problem is we've made it such a almost derogatory term in our culture versus educating people on, what does that mean? And I think a lot of times, parents have told me, well, if I talk to my child about that, then that's going to put those ideas in their head, or then they're going to, be more inclined to do it. Whereas we know evidence shows us that it's actually the opposite. There's no perfect science to any of this, unfortunately, but definitely there's still a lot of stigma around it, and we need to break that. We need to be more comfortable talking about it and knowing kind of the facts about it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to come to a mindfulness walk and that's going to kind of fix everything, but it just implements another positive resiliency kind of strategy that we can do to help guard ourselves against or cope with, anxiety, depression, whatever we may be struggling with.
To me, the greatest value of what we have is just having green space that is preserved for the public to use how they want to use it. And I think this is a great example of that, is just taking a little piece of nature and making it a little bit more accessible.